See, this is one of the challenging parts about being a black spiritual person or a melanated spiritual human in this experience, right? This is one of the challenging parts. The thing is, if you get to the point where you're on your spirituality tip as a melanated person in the world or America, where I'm at, you feel me? Especially in America, let's just stick to America. You go through phases before you get to like your Buddha, Zen, spiritual chakra state, right? And most of the time before before that stage is like your Black Power stage. You feel me? Your Black Panther, anti-government, community development stage, right? And now when I say stage, it's not that ever goes away. You just evolve into a grander perspective. And so this is the challenge. When you go from the Black Panther, the pro-black, that phase to predominantly spirituality, what's the difference first? Let me explain the difference. The main difference is in pro-black, you kind of only identify yourself as being a black being on this earth, being a black human on this earth, you feel me? When you step into your, at least for me, when you step into your spiritual side, you start to view yourself not as the body. So sometimes black people can start to disassociate with the pro-black, because when you move to the more spiritual side, you don't necessarily identify as the body anymore. And what's the body? The body is the human, and the body is whatever you are, a male, a black, you identify as like, I'm a spiritual being having a human consciousness, having a human experience, right? So a lot of times you shift from that perspective to the other perspective. Now this is where the friction is, right? The challenge, I should say. Now, yes, it's very important on an individual basis to evolve spiritually and start to see how we are all connected to everything. And it is okay to identify as just a spiritual being, and not identify with your body, as long as you literally know that you're still on planet Earth, you're still in America, you're still a black man, woman, whatever. And so that saying two things can be true at once comes into play, right? Because while, yes, we are in the state of evolving and eventually we are headed towards humanity being united and racism being a thing of the past. I know some of y'all don't see it ending. It's going to transform. It's going, trust me, we on a good trajectory. And, but we still have to deal with the problems that has been handed down to us from generation to generation based off of all of the shit we did when we weren't in such a evolved state of mind, or getting to such an evolved state of mind. So in order for it to really work, we still have to step back into that government, that pro-black, that not like you ever left. Like I said, this is nothing that leaves, but you have to do the work in these arenas. That's what I'm saying. In order for humanity to eventually get to a place to where we can all really link up as one human race, the playing field has to be level. And that means the playing field of sociology. And just, it don't matter how spiritual you are, you still got social caste systems. And in America, black people are still going through all this shit, not just in America, in the world, you feel me? So it's like, in order for us to ever get to that, the balance of power has to be equal between the races, right? Right now you got like white, Asian, whatever. There's like boom, boom, and so, like they're placed in certain higher standards than other. You feel me? And the playing field has to be level if we ever want to honestly get to spiritual evolution. We can't bypass all the bullshit. And I'm talking to the black spiritual people, I'm talking to the white spiritual people, the Asian, Mexican, all of y'all. We can't bypass, because sometimes you get to spirituality, and because you think you in spirituality, you think that you could just own the problems away. That's not how the problems go. Like, we got deep-seated, deep-rooted racism, systematic oppression that people have been through. So the challenge is being a melanated being while also being spiritually aware, highly evolved. When you tell people something like, we're all one, or I'm connected to everything, or we're all connected, sometimes that is taken as you dismissing problems that your people had to go through, right? And are still going through. But that's not always true. You can hold the consciousness of the Buddha and the Christ consciousness and still put in the work and be aware of the problems that we've been handed, the problems that we still got to work out. You feel me? Man to man, woman to woman, black to white, yellow to black, yellow to yellow. There's still issues that we have to do and deal with, right? So let me go through both perspectives. When we're in our more governmental level awareness and we're on our revolutionary Black Panther stuff, sometimes it's easy for us to not see the bigger picture of, we're connected to everything. We are not victims. We can manifest our reality. We've liberated ourselves before, etc., etc. And then, on the other end, when you get to this consciousness, you got to remember where you came from. And remember you're still there. You feel me? Do not spiritually bypass this bullshit. Like, uncomfortable conversations aren't negative. They're uncomfortable, okay? You cannot move on to a spiritual state of mind and then spiritually bypass real problems. A lot of my white brothers and sisters, spiritual brothers and sisters in the community, not nobody I know personally, but a lot of that I could think of, a lot of my white brothers and Asians, you know, spiritual people, sometimes I see that a lot. Y'all bypass, you know, you'll have people talking about real things, real life oppression that is currently still happening, like stuff that's happening in the Congo and all this stuff, you feel me? And you'll have these people say some like cliche spiritual bullshit, like, you know what I mean? When it's like, that's not what needs to happen. We don't need spirituality in this sense. We need to understand that, yes, we have this spirituality. At the same time, we have to be like, we got to strap up our boots and really put in this work to make sure the power, the balance of power is level. Now, that's in a positive note. The only way the balance of power will get leveled realistically is if the people in power give it up, or people take it back. You get what I'm saying? So, and I don't think the people who got power is gonna give it up. But this is the thing. Here's the solution and conclusion. All my black spiritual people, yes, and all my black people that's on a governmental Black Panther, you know, revolutionary consciousness right now, listen up. It's okay to consciously evolve and grow, but also we still got to do the work. All my other races, you got to do the work. It can't just be us. Don't just do the work by doing the kumbayas and the meditations and the yoga. That's going to help and shit. But we got to do the work in our own communities. Black people, you got to go back to the hood. Share your knowledge. Share your spirituality. I know they're going to reject you, but go there anyway. Try to share what you got. White folks, Asian folks, Mexican folks, Latinos, Latinas. Y'all got to go to y'all's community and put in the work too. And be like, yo, do y'all realize we kind of racist as fuck out this motherfucker? You realize that? So we all got inner work to do. You feel me? That's where I'm going to land my plane at. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about what I'm saying. Especially all my melanated spiritual folks. Any tips you could give. Put some more tips in the comment, actually. Peace.